Whatever rocks your socks, whatever spins your top, whatever winds your watch, whatever flips your flop, whatever turns you on, whatever flies your flag, whatever bangs your gong, or whatever swings your bag. Do it often, but do it well, 'cause nobody knows and there's no way to tell when the ride ends.
Well, hi. I'm up late again, but this time not because of insomnia. This time I actually stayed up with friends, had a good time. So it's just after midnight. Good morning. I'm at the Siak Mi Phi Dang, the four-way intersection that has a red light. This way is the road to Phuket. This way is the road to Ranong and Nakhon Si Thammarat. This is the road to the beach and my house. And that's the road to the Chinese temple, obviously. And past that, the hot springs. So, you know, it's weird. This is the main road from Phuket to Ranong and Nakhon Si Surat Thani. And for some reason, it makes this hard right turn. It comes down here, and at this intersection makes a hard right turn at the Siak Mi Phi Dang. I'm gonna have to get out of the way here for a second. Hi, how are you? Why is it crazy Falang in the middle of the intersection? Because it's midnight and I can. There's nothing coming. But yeah, the road to Ranong comes down here and makes this hard right turn. And it's called the Siak Mi Phi Dang. And somewhere up there is a defunct traffic light. There it is. That's the Phi Dang. This is the Siak Mi Phi Dang. That's the Phi Dang. As you can see, that Phi Dang hasn't worked in 20 years. This is still the four-way intersection with the red light, even though that red light has not worked in 20 years. And when I first got here, this intersection terrified me. It's a four-way intersection that's busy in the daytime, right? All the traffic from Phuket to Ranong. And there's no light. So I didn't know what to do. I'm gonna go over here and sit down with this dog. So I didn't know what to do, right? I would approach this intersection, I'd be terrified. Terrified every time I approach the intersection. And look at you, iPhone. Look at you adjusting to the dim light. Yeah, so I would come up on this intersection and I wouldn't know what to do because there's no light, right? There's just this crazy kind of a whirlpool of people kind of interacting and going through and pausing and not pausing and going straight through or turning right. And I couldn't figure out who has the right of way. There's no signs, there's nothing. There's no stop sign. It's a busy four-way intersection without guidance. And I've talked to my friend T about it. I said, you're the Dal Mall, why don't you go to the Ampu and get them to fix that light? He said, one of the first things I did in office 20 years ago was convince them when that light broke not to fix it again. I said, what do you mean? He said, when we had a red light up there, when we had a traffic light up there were deaths at that intersection because people would not trust the light. People would come up on it and they'd have a green light and they'd go right through it and they'd get hit by somebody who was, running the red light. Whole family on a motorcycle. It's midnight and the whole family, infants, little kids on a motorcycle. Where are they going? What are they doing? And he said, yeah. So it broke And I kind of convinced the Ampere office that we didn't have the funds to fix it. And while it was broke, people stopped dying at this intersection because now you pay attention. And he said, you just come up, and when there's a window, you take it. And if there's no window, you stop. He says, but now people aren't dying at that intersection. And I thought, isn't that a metaphor for Thailand, right? Don't trust civic authority. Don't count on someone else to tell you when to go and when to stop. Figure it out for yourself. Trust your instincts. Be careful of the other guy. Be polite. And you'll get through the intersection. I can't believe how much traffic there is here tonight. Yeah, you know. You get through the intersection, moo moo, blah blah. Right? Snake, snake, fish, fish. You may not get there in a straight line, but you'll get there. Right? All right. I want to thank George Bowman, who has a restaurant called George's Pizza in Pizza on the Lobe. He's got a YouTube channel called Visiting 50 States in Thailand. And I love his YouTube channel. It's unique, it's funny, it's witty, it's smart, and it also advertises his business casually, unobtrusively, in every episode. I just love this intersection. Look at this. Who was making all that noise a minute ago when I was trying to speak? Anyway, yeah. George's Pizza. I wrote him a fan letter. I'm a fanboy. I wrote him a fan letter. He sent me a t-shirt. Thank you very much, George. So if you get a chance, go visit George's Pizza in Pizza on the Lobe, and certainly visit his channel, George Bowman, B-O-W-M-A-N, George Bowman, Visiting 50 States in Thailand. I'm gonna go see where those guys are going. All right, thanks very much. I'll see you later. Oh, I know what I wanted to talk about. Listen, I'm intrigued by George's channel partly because he's got a weird hobby, all right, in his retirement. George takes photographs. Of American t-shirts in Thailand. And he's got hundreds and hundreds of these photographs. He just comes up to people in random spots. If they've got a t-shirt advertising something in America, particularly a location, a state, a city, he'll go ask to take their photo. And he's got this huge collection of photographs of, that was an odd couple. That was an odd couple of people on that motorcycle. At any rate, he's got all these photographs of people in t-shirts, and he compiles them into video essays that are very clever and fun to watch. And I collect cigarette lighters off the beach. I'll see if I can insert a frame here. Every morning I go to the beach. I ride the bicycle 10 kilometers to the beach. I walk on the beach. I pick up trash. Cigarette lighters are one of the most common forms of trash on the beach. So I pick up a lot of cigarette lighters. Yeah, how you doing? And I'm making lots of new friends out here, standing in the middle of the intersection. And yeah, I pick up cigarette lighters. I got a lot of them. And I'm gonna fill a 50-gallon aquarium. So I wanna know what other old people out there, any retirees with any interesting hobbies. I'd like to hear about it. How are you spending your retirement in Thailand? All right, comment below. Like, subscribe, and share. Thank you very much for your time. The mosquitoes are eating me alive. They've discovered me. I'm getting out of here. I'm going to bed. Thank you very much. I love you guys. Thank you for your attention.
Steve Steve Rosse is a classic pain in the ass. Imagine sitting next to him on a plane or bar.
You don't have to imagine it, Tinkerbell. Here we are. Your dream has come true.
Pretty dumb to plaster yourself all over YouTube, admitting you have no money and cannot stay here legally for long. What would happen to the dollies?
Again with the dollies. Who do you think watches this channel, Tinkerbell? Do you imagine some Karachikan sitting at a desk watching all the Farang YouTubers hoping to catch one admitting a crime?
Trust you to think commenting on drivel is some sort of competition. No wonder you play with dolls. They don't talk back.
You can talk back anytime you have something worth saying. Unfortunately, you squander that opportunity by just repeating the word doll over and over and over.
No cash in the bank and admits Thailand does not want you. Well, you got that right. You would be more suited to a trailer park back home.
I lived in a trailer park in Las Cruces, New Mexico for 8 years before May of this year. What's wrong with living in a trailer? Where do you live, Twinkie?
Half of what he says at any one interview contradicts other statements made elsewhere.
Now that's interesting, Sally. In order to know that, you must have watched all my interviews and watched them all the way through. You're just fascinated with me, aren't you? You must think about me all day long.
Classic sex pat. Quote, I never felt a distance between me and the people who work in the sex industry. Unquote. Interview on Irish Times, where of course he never shuts up about himself.
Once again, Puddin', your understanding of human psychology is tissue thin. Sex pats are able to do what they do because they dehumanize the people they pay for sex. They feel no connection to them, and so they have no qualms about exploiting them. I see them as human beings, in every way, my brothers and my sisters. Now tell us what your involvement is in the commercial sex industry, Puddin'. You must know a lot of sex pats if you know what the classic example of one is. You must have a ton of experience in the industry. Tell us about it.
Something odd about old blokes messing around with dollies. Nice to see he gets been here since the 80s mentioned again. Here's an idea. Get the ex-wife on and see what she has to say.
Yeah, I mention my bona fides because I voice opinions, so it is incumbent on me to make clear where my authority comes from. Now you do the same. From what experience do you make all these proclamations? And again, with dollies, Jesus, dude, you're a broken record. They're props, just props. Ever heard of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, Pee-wee's Playhouse, the shadow puppets of southern Thailand? All just props, Nancy.
Yeah, saw those Thai puppet shows, fell asleep. Are you a Punch and Judy fan as well? What about Pinky and Perky? Of course, puppets are not the same as little girls' dolls, are they? Here it is in dramaturgical terms. Toys.
You don't even know what dramaturgical means, sweetie. Let me school you. In dramaturgical terms, there is no difference between a Barbie doll and the skull of Yorick or the Maltese Falcon. Steve McQueen's Mustang, Dirty Harry's pistol, Indiana Jones's bullwhip, they're all just props. So are the dolls I work with. And yes, of course, I love Punch and Judy, and Kukla, Fran and Ollie, Team America, Robot Chicken, Sesame Street, and Howdy Doody.
Yeah, you're embarrassing coming out with this weak claim of people being obsessed with you. So people are either trolls or stalkers if they don't think you're wonderful. Says more about you than I could.
Yeah, you're not very good at expressing yourself. School was very hard for you, wasn't it, Pookie?
Not surprising the wife is an ex. Love to hear her story. He admits has not $30,000 and no Thai bank account, despite boasting about $100,000 a year in the 90s. So how is he staying long-term in Thailand without any funds? The only way is the illegal visa agent route. He's right. Thailand does not want people like him.
Yeah, I'm right about that, and everything else you're wrong about. And I say in at least 2 interviews that I would love to read my ex-wife's memoir. You can't just repeat what I say in an interview and then pat yourself on the back for being clever.
Horrible, loud-mouthed American who never shuts up talking about himself. Just the sort I keep well away from.
Well away from? Dude, you write me several notes every day. But I'm curious, if somebody interviews me, what should I talk about if not myself? You understand that's why they invite me on their channels, right? 3 times on Irish Times, 3 times on J.D. Strange, 4 times on Tim Newton Today. They want to hear me talk about myself. I've been writing about my experiences in Thailand for 35 years. It's called being a memoirist. Dude, you should buy my books.
Says Dolly Boy, who keeps sending me messages. Only trans play with dolls.
I'm responding to your messages, princess. You can stop this anytime you like. Just tell us your real name, your real address, and send us a real recent selfie. That's all it will take to prove you know what you're talking about. Until then, you're nothing, Cupcake.
Whatever shaves your sheep, whatever bakes your lamb, whatever digs your peak, whatever smokes your ham, whatever blows your nose, whatever chews your bone, whatever squirts your hose, whatever sings your song. Do it often, but do it well. Nobody knows and there's no way to tell. When you're riding, shoot down, shoot that down.